colleagues. The tragedy is that those of us who are in sympathy with them are also buffeted. In the southeast, soldiers are killed, police stations are destroyed, innocent people are also killed, kidnapped on a daily basis. Same goes for southwest, north central, northwest, and other parts of this country. So we've come to a point where we have to decide whether to shut down government and deal with this or continue as if business as usual. Mr. President, you recall in last Senate, you headed a summit which we discussed thoroughly, the security situation in Nigeria, and made recommendations. Regrettably, nothing has happened about that. In this particular Senate, we have seen senator after senator, from Arafa to Alin Dume, to most of our colleagues here who were in the last Senate, spoke about the insecurity in Nigeria and the fact that it will get worse. I'm so sad that all those things we predicted are now happening. Mr. President, I don't intend to re-emphasize the fact that any government that cannot protect its citizens, whether it is local government or state or federal, has lost legitimacy. This is time for us to sit up and take the business of securing our people seriously. I know that a lot of people will speak on this, and I appeal to you, Mr. President, to allow our colleagues to make contributions on this very subject. If it is the only thing we discuss today, I think we have done a lot for our country. Mr. President, the situation we found out in our country today is not irreversible. It is that the problem is that we have not been able to pay sufficient attention or take this matter seriously. Sri Lanka, Colombia, Israel, they've gone through this road and they overcame them. So we should not be ashamed to seek support and assistance of such countries to help us. We had COVID-19 in this country in year 2020. Some states were shut down in order to deal with that situation. I think this time has come for a place like Niger State to be completely shut down and protect their citizens so that we'll be able to save those who are still alive. If we cannot do that, then we are not serious and then we are not fair to those who are alive. Those people who are killed in Nigeria on the basis of senatorial zone or geopolitical zone on a daily basis are more than 10 senators who are present. We are here 109. They kill more than 109 people every day in every geopolitical zone of this country. These are not just statistics, they are human beings. So, Mr. President, time has come for us, if possible, to shut down this Senate and be able to find a solution to this matter. If we need to meet here again tomorrow, or maybe on executive session, and revisit all the issues I've said before, and represent them to the federal government, I think it is worth the day. So I support this motion, and I believe that, Mr. President, you have the wherewithal to lead this Senate, be able to tell the federal government and tell them exactly what we want and what nations this country wants. We represent every senatorial zone here. It is our responsibility to convey to the federal government the seriousness of this matter. And I believe that the time is now. So I support this motion.
Mr. President, between yesterday and today, there are two ugly events that have threatened the lives of our people. One of them is the one that happened to my brother, my fellow senator from my state. He was coming back from Edo yesterday, was attacked twice. In fact, two of his policemen are likely ill. They are undergoing operation right now. He came in here and he just left. He had a close shave with death. Last night, I watched Governor Bello of Niger on TV, the chief executive of a state. His fears were well expressed by him. And of course, to put it, he said, you can see that the precincts, the satellite towns around Abuja, they are under siege. And if nothing is done in the next few days, Abuja will be the target. Therefore, there is cause for worry. When it is happening to other people, we don't know the gravity until it happens to somebody close to you. The issue of security of Nigeria or security in Nigeria, we have been talking about it. It's like a ritual. Nothing is happening. We have stood up here. It's not about condemning a government or a system. What practical steps are we taking to stem this thing? Somebody just said, they're not going to stand in this business. Nigeria was sent to Mali to go and quell insurrection some time ago. We have equally gone to other West African states to go and intervene. A lot of Nigerians have raised their voices. Is there any shame if the Western powers, they have the powers, the arsenal to fight this warfare? Why can we not invite them? A lot of us are already thinking, supposing something happens in the night, what do I do with my family? My home, my house is already well known. My office is well known. Where do I hide? So, Mr. President, look, there is nobody in this country today that is not worried about the issue of insecurity. Nobody. I was watching television last week. Somebody said National Assemblies, they should lock themselves up and provide solutions to insecurity. Because somebody said, we are the conscience of the people. They don't know any other person. They don't know the villa. They know us. We are the targets. So, Mr. President, please, I as a solution, apart from recruitment, mass recruitment into armed forces and the police that will happen now, we should invite those that can help us to fight this warfare. Invite Americans, invite British, invite everybody that can invite. This is the time. Look, there is there's nobody that can talk of national pride in this circumstance when we don't have a homegrown solution to our problems. Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, if care is not taken, you and me will not come to these chambers very soon, because it's just a matter of time. We are all here, and we cannot sit down here and be doing lip service to the nation. We have to, whatever it takes, whatever we're going to do, the time is now. We must sit down and find a resolution to what is happening. Very soon, there will be no school in this country. Because if you look at it, the education sector is the one that is being targeted now. Look at what has happened in Greenfield University in Kaduna. Look at what has happened in a school in Benue yesterday. So you discover that these things are becoming more and more on a daily basis. And we keep saying the same thing, meanwhile, no result. Nothing is happening. What are we going to do? We are the decision makers of this country. I think we just have to sit down and challenge ourselves and come up with a resolution in this place, and we do a follow-up. Not just writing papers here, we must do a follow-up. If there's need for a national security summit, let it be. Let's go there and tell ourselves the truth. We are even tired with coming for a national security summit, because we have been going there, we have done it before, and at the end of the day, we still go to bed. Look at what is happening. In my place, as I speak now, about this time of the year, a bag of maize should be about 9,000. Today, a bag of maize is about 22,000 in my place. Because people have not been going to farm. People cannot go to farm. In Borno State, in Yobe State, and some part of Adeyemi State, people cannot go to farm. Now, look at Niger State, where they grow a lot of foodstuff. They cannot go to farm. So, where are we going to? Where is the food security? Very soon, this problem of insecurity of food in this country will, in fact, triple. And we are here talking. What are we going to do? Please and please, this Senate should stand up and do something about the security of this nation. Because it's becoming one and too many, all over the place, attacks. Every day, there's nowhere you tune to any radio station that you will not hear about killings here, killings here. It's all about killings. What we are hearing from the Middle East before, it has taken place all over here. What is happening to all of us?
Mr. President, a few days ago, some students at the Federal University of Agriculture and Marketing were kidnapped. And up to today, this morning, the VC sent me a text that they are untraceable. What these bandits or the orchestrators of this banditry act are trying to do is to eclipse the entire country with fears. We can no longer send our children to school because you are at home thinking that your child is in school, he's kidnapped. Those children who were kidnapped in Kaduna were told that so far 5 of them have been killed. Mr. President, this is dreadful. I'm a personal victim, and I like what Matthew said here. Until you are directly affected, you will not know how painful it is. Mr. President, Odia would have been saying a different thing if he was killed along the road. It can happen to any one of us here. And so this is a very, very serious situation that we found ourselves in. It has been alluded to by my colleagues here. And we set up a security committee here that was headed by the leader of the Senate. A report was presented on the floor of this Senate. We deliberated on it. We arrived at resolutions that were far-reaching. Those resolutions were sent to the President for action. Mr. President, up to today, no serious action has been taken as far as those resolutions are concerned. And so, on our own part as legislators, on our own part as senators, we have done the needful. And there's a need for us to call a spade a spade. The executive have shown clear incompetence of handling this security situation. And that is what we should be talking about. We cannot be blaming ourselves here as senators. We represent the people. Like somebody said, these people know us and we know them. And they're holding us accountable. And we seem not to have the powers to enforce what we have passed on the floor of this Senate. Mr. President, what do we do in such circumstance? Francis said here, let us do the needful. Because we are doing, every day we come here, we debate. What I would say that we are paying lip service to the problems that confront us today. Let us seriously sit down, as suggested here by one of my colleagues, with Mr. President, as a house, not as leaders of this Senate, to show the seriousness of what we have found ourselves in. Otherwise, one day, we'll just find, like Francis said, we'll just find some people who were overwhelmed out here, maybe take us hostage. As I was coming, I couldn't enter through the gate because the gate was blocked. When I was coming, I had to take the villa gate to come in here. So gradually, people are getting very impatient, and it is us, they can't go to the villa, they will come here. So our lives as senators, as National Assembly members, is in danger. And so, Mr. President, the motion moved by our colleague here, he has moved, this is about the fourth time that he's moving such a motion, because killing in Niger has become a recurring decimal. Ditto for other parts of the country. And so let us, Mr. President, have an executive session, if not today, maybe some other day that you will select, and frankly discuss this thing outside the glimpse of the press, so that we can frankly talk and come up with solutions as to how this can be done. Talking, in the open, most people are unable to say their mind. Most people are able to say what should be done. Let us hold an executive session over this and frankly discuss among ourselves so that we can save Nigerians the trauma of everyday killings. When you listen to radio, it's killing. You listen to television, it's killing. You read newspaper, it's killing. So killing has become commonplace in our country. And now nobody attaches any value to human life any longer. Growing up as children, to kill one person was a big deal. Now you say 50 people have been killed, 46 people have been killed. It's no longer an issue. Children are kidnapped and are being killed like chicken by this bandit. And nobody seems to be taking that seriously. Mr. President, as suggested here, let us have a session among ourselves, talk to ourselves, and possibly meet with the leader of this country so that he will know. Maybe he doesn't appreciate the magnitude of the problem. We, who relate with the people on a daily basis, know the magnitude of the problem. And so let us meet with him. We'll sit down with him as a Senate and then discuss with him and possibly arrive at some solutions that we can address that will solve this problem. Even if we can't finish it, let us mitigate it as much as we can, Mr. President.
Senator Biodun Olujun.
Moving with cars, and we are moving with them now, because children will walk onto us and tell us that we are the cause of all the happening in this country. If we refuse to adjust and face this situation squarely, if wishes could be horses, the nation can be declared state of emergency so that this thing can be faced squarely. It's really unfortunate. Imagine if when this thing was happening in the northeast, we were saying that this place is very close to some of the boundaries. Talk of Zamfara, talk of Niger, now Kaduna, the center of the happenings. Sokoto as well. What do you want us to do? In Abuja here, Boko Haram are all over the federal character. Federal capital. I'm assuring you.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
If care is not taken, we are all going to be consumed in this place. Sitting here pretending to say that we are the people of the country until when one of us is killed before we know precisely what is the problem on ground. Our relations, our people cannot sleep. Every day killings here, killings there, killing over there. Kidnapping, raping. What do we do? And the funny thing about us, Nigerians, we will sit there and make a lot of noise. At the end of the day, nothing can be done. Very good in executing. There we can talk and all this, and nothing will be done by Nigerians. Why must it be so? And when we are trying to take decision, we expose all our plans for the bandits to know what we are planning to do. For God's sake, why should Nigeria be in that form? They come to borrow us to go and fight outside foreign countries. But in our country, we cannot do anything.
Sufficient time for various interventions by our colleagues. Now we'll go to the prayers. The Senate resolves to 1, call on the Chief of Defense Staff, the Chief of Army Staff, and the Inspector General of Police to immediately deploy troops to defend unarmed populace and bring back security to the affected communities, which is the only antidote to restoring confidence in the security and safety of the affected communities. Those in favor of this prayer say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 2, urge the Chief of Army Staff and the Inspector General of Police to, as a matter of urgency, direct for the establishment of a permanent military and police command bases at the axis adjoining Shiroro and Rafi local government areas, respectively, and to redesign the modus operandi of the military operations within the affected areas so as to curtail the escalating insecurity. Those in favor of prayer 2 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 3, direct the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and NEMA to, as a matter of national emergency, provide relief materials and medical support team to the victims immediately. Those in favor of prayer 3 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 4, call on the Senate to observe a minute's silence for all the victims of these callous acts of criminality. Those in favor of this prayer say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Before the prayer, additional prayer. Senator Adeyemi, Bamidele.